So when you create your folder, you just want to drag and drop in VS Code and make it full screen. I'll zoom in now so you can see better, and I think this is okay. So first thing you want to do is create a new file in the calculator.html, and you have a doc type, and we want to have inside your body. Also have your inside of your body container, so I'll just write hello world for now, hello world, and I'll open up with live server. You can open up your live server like this, and it will open up your app. So I'm just gonna make this side by side so you can see as I work on it. I'll reduce the size of the browser. So first thing you want to have in the body is this panel, the panel, solar panel side of the calculator. So I'll give that solar panel. The next, we want to have the display area, which is basically the display area of the calculator, then display upper, then display itself. Inside of the display, you want to have a display content, and I want to give it an ID of display content. So you just want to copy this down, hold Control Alt Shift down to make a copy of it, and here you want to add end to it. You want to add end to make it justify end, and you want to make this previous content. I'm just gonna hide my sidebar. So you want to go into styling, create a new file, calculator.css. So first you link it together. You link your CSS, calculator.css. So you have your CSS, and you want to start typing out your CSS. First thing, you will reset all back to 0, margin to be 0, padding to be 0, and box sizing should be border box. And now that you've reset everything, first you want to start with your body tag. You make a use of your body, set the background. So open up your body, make it display flex, align items, center, justify content, center, mean height to be 100 view each, 100 view height. So it's gonna take up the whole space. Then you want to give it a padding of 20 pixels. Then below that, you want to have your calculator. This is our old body. This is the calculator itself, calculator. And you have width of 500 pixels, 580 pixels. Background, color background. I'm just gonna use a gradient here, so I'll change it to background linear gradients, 145 degree, and I'll make it hash d8, yeah, that, and hash f4, yeah. So below that, I'll make the border radius to be 25 pixels. 25 pixels. I'll make the height to be auto, overflow to be hidden, padding to be 15 pixels, and I want to give it a border of 2 pixels solid, and hash c0 c0. Then I want to give it a box shadow of 0 pixels, 35 pixels, RGBA 0, 0, 0.1, insets 0, 2 pixels, 5 pixels, RGBA, which is gonna be 225, 225, and I'll make this 0.8. And I want to have another one, which is gonna be insert 0 minus 2 pixels, 5 pixels, RGB A. This is gonna be 0, 0, 0, and 0.1. And 0.1. So next we want to start, so we can hit refresh to see what's going on. Let me just put something in the HTML to see what's going on. Okay, it's working just fine. So we want to change the container to be calculator, not container. Sorry, that's okay. Now we have something to work with. Oof. So next we want to style the solar panel, which is just basically a box at the top. Solar panel. I give it width of 60 pixels, height of 15 pixels, background to be black, so we want to make it margin auto, we'll give it a border of 1 pixel. It's not really necessary, but you can if you want to. 1 pixel solid, and hash 333. Okay, next we want to style our display area. display area, background. We'll give it a background of we'll give it a background of hash f8 f8 f8. Border radius to give it a little bit of curvature inside. Border radius of 8 pixels. Add padding to be 15 pixels. 15 pixels. Then want to have margin bottom to be 15 pixels also. Okay, you want to change this to semicolon, margin bottom to be 15 pixels. I want to give the border. This is gonna be a border radius. This is gonna be the border, so I'll give it a border of 2 pixels inset and hash E0 E0 E0, so just like that. We might want to change this to a shorthand, so I'll just basically change this to 0 at the top, auto for left and right, then 10 pixels for the bottom, and that should do. So I'll change this to semicolon, please. Also this, and you have your display area. Next is our display wrapper. We'll style our display wrapper. Give it a border of 2 pixels, inset and hash E8 F4 for 8, yeah, and we have a border radius of 5 pixels. 5 pixels. Then we want to start the display itself. So this is going to have position relative, display flex, align items, center, and we want to justify content to be flex start. Font size to be 24 pixels. Color to be #333. Overflow to be auto. Overflow X auto. And I want to add a border. I want to give it a border of border bottom none. You don't want it to have border at the bottom, so border bottom none. I will give it a padding of 8 pixels. The padding of 8 pixels, and that should be it, guys. So next we'll justify the other one to be the beginning. So we're gonna make it justify content. And this is gonna be flexed end. And you want to go into our display, you just want to put some values. Let's say 0, and you can see 0 and 0. So the first one It's gonna, okay, it ought to be around here for the answer, the one that displays the answer. Let's check our CSS. Okay, flex end, flex start, flex end. Okay, it ought to be at the end. Okay, looking at that, okay, actually I want to give it a background color of ash for its E8, F8 and E4. That will give us the color of the screen. E8, sorry, not E4, E8. So let's continue, and we're gonna fix the display screen later as we go on. But next stop, we want to have our button inside of the calculator, our button grid, which is going to contain all our button. And I'm going to do a lot of copy and paste here, and you also can do the same thing. So we want to have a div of button grid, buttons grid, sorry, inside of the button we are going to have a first div, our first set of button, which is gonna be button of class, sorry, btn of class. It's gonna have class of button, button purple. This is gonna give it a different color, button text. So the first one not to have is shift, and then we can, let me close my sidebar. Want to have shift, and then we can copy and paste it in multiple places. I'm just gonna do that now. I'll copy it 5 times. You hold Alt Shift then down. So I'll change the values, the text content, alpha, and this is gonna be mode, and this is gonna be setup, and this is be on. And we also have below that our next button. I'm just gonna copy all this one down, okay, and give them class names of button dark. They are not purple, but they are dark buttons. Dark buttons. And I want to have quite a few. And this is gonna be for Cal. Calculate, and we'll give it a data value This is gonna help us later on to select the attribute of the button. So guys, I just went ahead and I copied this integral sign just like you saw on my screen. I copied it and I pasted it here, and I'm still gonna paste this in another place, but I want to wrap this into a span. Cal. Then after that span, I'll give it this. I'll paste it one more time for that sign, and I'll give it a class. I'll give it a span of class secondary text. So I'll delete all this and I copy this now for all of our buttons that will be in that part. Just like always, Alt Shift then down. So we're gonna copy a lot of it. I'll change this to be dx. This is gonna be summation, just like we did the other time. Just look up summation. You can copy and you paste. Summation. And next is x factorial. X factorial. And the next one is log 10. Log 10. I want to go back. I'm just gonna style this real quick so we can have something to work with. So below our end, we want to have a button, which is first to get our button grid. Display is gonna be grid, and we want to give a grid template columns. So repeat 5, and they all should occupy space, all this space, full space, yeah, like that. And we'll give it a gap of 3 pixels and margin top to be 10 pixels. Then in our buttons, we want to get our button height should be 70 pixels, and we'll give it a border none. We don't want any border. None. We'll give it border radius of 6 pixels. Sorry, 6 pixels. Font size to be 16. Cursor pointer, transition, and we want the transition to last 0.1 seconds, and we want to have position relative, display flex, x direction column. Of course, item center, justify center. I want to give the box shadow. I'm just gonna copy the shadow we used earlier. I'll copy it from here. And I'll add a little bit of changes. I'll reduce this to be 3 pixels and 6, and I'll make this to be 0.2 so it is more visible. I'll make this 1 pixels and this also 2 pixels, and I'll leave it at that. And yeah, here is what we have, and we want to, of course, end that. And we want to align our text to be center. Text align center. So I'm just gonna delete all these ones real quick. We're gonna be having something different when we style them. We are gonna float. They're gonna be position absolute. So first I want to style the pop button, or we can go back into our HTML and complete all the buttons. But let me just do that. I'll go back into my HTML and complete all the buttons. And this is gonna be for square root, and I'll just copy 5 of them. Yeah, 5 of them. Those will be for square root. Then for another one, and I want to delete this last one here. This is gonna be x. Somebody, how do I do? Oh god. Not that. Okay, here we have all the symbols. And if you want to open it up, you can just press Ctrl V to start. Okay, squared. That's what I want to add, and I have it. And for the rest, I'll be having them, but not now. So I want to have for Y also X, then I'll press Window V, go into my symbols, look for Y. So not that. I'm unable to get this symbol just yet, so I'm just gonna delete all of this. I'll leave it X for now, but I'll be sure to update that. Then next I'll have log, and this is gonna be len. Don't worry about the styling for now. And log 10, we'll change it back to this. Subscript will be this. And for the angles, we're gonna be having a bunch of what I don't like here. Sine, cost, tan. We're gonna have data valid to all. And I want to copy the last 5 and paste it down here. And actually, I'm just gonna style them real quick. I want to add the purple buttons. Purple. Background. A7C A8 to ash 6 B5 B87. Background. I want to make color should be white. Color white. I want to change this to this. Then want to have a black or dark button. I'll make this to be 4A. And 2A. So let me just style everything from here to be light. It's still gonna be the same thing. I'll copy this, I'll paste it here, I'll change the values, I'll make it color #333. Then gonna have this couple of times. Change this to orange. I'll change the color also. Change this to white. So let me just change the color. For the light, I'll have FO to DO. Okay. For the orange, I'll have FF 8C42 to E6 7E22. And for the white color, I'll have FFF. This is gonna be white and E000. Okay, one more F. Yeah, I'll change the colors to be black. Okay, I'll leave the color at that. And I'll change this to be white. And for the other button, white button, now I want to give it a border of 1 pixels. 1 pixels, solid, and CCC. Then you have our button text. Font size should be 14 pixels. And line height should be 1. And button main font size should be 18 pixels. And we're just gonna style the secondary text. Make a position absolute. Top to 2 pixels. Left should be 3 pixels. And I want to make the font size very small, 8 pixels. 8 pixels. And the color to be ash DDD. So I'm just gonna repeat this outside. Okay, for that, so I'll copy this and paste it here. I'll do this for everything. And here we're gonna have square root. Let me see if I can find square root easily. Yeah, there we go. I guess that's simple. So fine. So we want to add more buttons, but this time there'll be different sets. And this is gonna be for the numbers. So I want to give it button light, not dark. Light and button main. Remove the button text. Command D if you want to delete that. I want to change this to the also delete that also. You know what, I'm gonna delete everything and just edit one, and from there I'll edit the others. I'll copy and paste for the others. I'll make this 7. So I want to make copies 7, 8, and 9. Then you have to extra button, which is just gonna be orange, and this is gonna be delete. And I have another one which is gonna be is. For the remaining numerical buttons, so we're just gonna paste this down here. I'll change this back to light to be for the symbols, actually white. That'll be for the symbols. I want to change this to 5. Okay, sorry, 4, 5, and 6. I'll copy this, paste it down here. And this is gonna be 0, 1, sorry, 1, 2, and 3. And we're gonna have it one more time. This will be 0, and this will be full stop, dot, or full stop, anyone. This is gonna be X. Then it's going to have S, but for now let's just stick to nothing. So answer, and this will be our equals to, and I'm just going to change the following symbols, and this will be plus, and this divide times. And that is almost basically it's for the UI. Yet we're still gonna change. We're gonna adjust everything so that it's going to have the value that's the same and none is different. I'll do that for me. I'll go and plus 3 2 1 6 5 4 9 8. So the value for this will be delete, clear, and for this it will be X, and for this slash divide, and these ones are gonna stay the same, and answer is gonna be answer and equals to maybe calculate. And you want to change this, instead of data action to be data value, data value to data action for this and this and also this. And I'm just gonna update the buttons for my side. I don't know, I have to search online and try to copy as much as possible to make the symbols look right. Okay, I'm going to do that now. So when I'm done, I'll resume the video. So I went about updating my code, my HTML, to make it look exactly the way we want. For the subscripts, I used I use math. I used math Unicode for that symbols, which you can also just search online and you're gonna see, and you might want to use AI for that. So next you want to add our functionalities. I'm just going to create another file named JavaScript Calculator just .javascript file. So go into your HTML, link the JavaScript file, script. You're gonna have your JavaScript source, and you want to go into your JavaScript file and start. First, you want to get the text content, or you want to select all the elements we need. I just want to change this to previous content and this also to previous content. Then below that, I want to have the buttons. I want to select all the buttons. So I've selected all the buttons, and I want to define the first things. I want to declare variables that I'll be needing for updating our state. The first one is let current expression equals a string. Let result display equals false. Let last result equals null. What these variables does is the current expression is the full string entered by the user, and the result display prevents appending new values to a completed result. And the last result stores the last result used for answers. And want to initialize our display setup, display content or text content. I want to set it to 0, and for display previous content dot inner HTML to a so that is, we're using HTML because we want to use this value, so we can use space. This is just basically space, so it doesn't have anything displayed yet until we actually enter something. So next, we want to get all our buttons and add listeners to them. Get our button dot add event listener, click. Now I want to close this. This button listens for clicks and add temporary active class to it. So when you click the button, it adds that bouncy effect. It's gonna be button dot last list dot add active, and we want to set timeout, so we remove it immediately after some lastly is the remove active. I want this to run in 100 milliseconds. I want to get the data set of the buttons. That is why we'll pass it in the beginning. So const button value equals button dot data set dot value. And once we get our button actions, that was on to complete. So button action button dot data sets action. So if button action is true, undo action, or passing button, then action, and if it's not a button action, then we just want to do something else. If it's a button value, I want to undo input, button value. Now we'll create the functions that we need. We'll create our function undo inputs. Undo infuse. Accept of value. Result display is true. Then go ahead. Current expression equals an empty string, and result display is false. I want to have a switch case statement. Key is going to be the value. So I want to return the values. When the values I'll just copy mine in the CSS. Sorry, in my HTML. When the value is this, okay, yeah, let's update the value though, so we'll do that later. But when the value is this, current expression equals math.square root. So this is just gonna add whatever value you pass to it with the previous current expression. That is this operator. That is what this operator does. And I want to have a lot of case, and we'll just copy down this. And when this is log, we want to use math. And when this is win, we want to use sign, or use math sign, and so on for everything. This is course, we use math course. This is span, use math tan. And this is extend cards, and times 10. It's gonna be double, yeah. And when this is negative, we're just gonna put a dash for minus sign. And we want to copy this down and go into our HTML, copy this value and paste it in. want to paste it here also. So once you change this to be correct, and it's gonna be a power in math in JavaScript. So, and we want to do for answer, when the case is answer, if last result equal no is not equal null, then once we set correct expression equals last result, then you break. And case, if case is raised to power 2, then want to current expression plus equals last result plus equals star, then you break. And for the ones who will not be implementing, use a case for them, all of them, and for calculus and summation and differentiation and all the degrees, we're just gonna use we're not gonna implement the functionalities, so we just force them to tell user something that these features are not implemented. So we'll change this. We'll have multiple of this. Summation dx, dx. I'll just copy X and D. I'll copy submission and calculus also. Submission. Is calculus and submission. Okay, after the X, the Y. Okay, here we go. Copy submission. Copy submission and just here we'll paste it. So it's just going to alert and return. It's not going to do anything. So it's just going to alert and return. Alert value, it gets the value, then we'll say is not implemented. I want to return. And for our default, what we want to default to is correct expression plus equals value, and you break. And below this, we just want to display our content, or text content, to the correct expression I have updated. And we should see something working now. And yeah, now we want to do our action. For our action is just going to be a function of undo action, which is going to accept action that I want to undo. Now to create an if statement. If action equal clear all, or action equals clear, then we want to set current expression to be equals to an empty string. We want to display content to be text content equals 0, and display previous content dot inner HTML to be our space. And want to result displays to be false. As for clear, and else if our button, if our action equals delete, then we want to current expression to be current expression dot slice. I want to slice the last value out of it, 0, -1, and display content, text content should to be equals current expression or 0. So what this does is, if this current expression is 0, if it's nothing, if it's empty, then it is going to replace it with 0. That is what this operator does. Like the first side, if the left side is not true, then it defaults to the other side. And for our last if else statement, which is going to be when action equal calculate, then I want to try and catch. Get expression. So we're going to get our expression to value. Current expression. We want to use regex here. So what we want to do is we just want to replace some things that some values we passed with the correct value you're supposed to have in math. So in JavaScript, it does not know x as multiply, only knows exponential or asterisk, sorry. So we change it to asterisk, and want to replace divide also. And we'll have this okay. Seems like divide is not on my keyboard, so I'm just gonna copy it from HTML copy it. I want to replace it with JavaScript divide. Then I want to let result equals evaluate ever, and this is just going to evaluate our string expression to value. What this ever does is it just runs our code in string. Let's say I have a code, like let's say something like console.log ever. What it's going to do when I wrap this around ever, I have a string like this. I'll just use a single string and I wrap it around ever. I put it inside ever. Ever is just gonna evaluate this. It's going to remove the string and run the console log ever, and that is what it does. It takes this string value and runs it. We're just gonna get our result. And if is not null, if result is not null, is not a number, or is infinity, or is finite, it's finite, I just want to display content, text content, display content, or to display error. Else we want to display last result, so equals to result, and display previous content to be equals to the text content to be equals to results, and display content to be equals to 0. Text content to be equals to 0. And current expression to equals to a string, stringify the result, and result displayed to be true. And we want to catch an error, and just console.log error. Then we want to display content, text content equals error, current expression equals an empty string, while the result displayed is false. So that's basically all the JavaScript that we need. This is our undo function, undo action, and this is our undo input, which we're gonna call. So what we want to do now is just update our HTML file. We'll update the values for all of them.
Hi guys, we are building a calculator.
Go check tree, and we want to change the values. Change this to a course. Anyone we get them. Change this to sign. We change this to hyperbole. copy this, paste it in. And this is gonna be negative. You just want to update everything so it works just fine. That's what I'm trying to do. And this is gonna be raised to power 2 double asterisk. And this is gonna be a factorial. And this is log. If you did not update your values correctly and you run into errors, some errors, I just want to make sure you update that correctly. And okay, we're done for summation. Mon bon. Correct. Mon bon, non. So you want to make sure you've updated all the HTML value, so you get your values right. Just make sure you get your values right. And when you are done with that, you want to go into implementing the features and trying it out. Actually, that's the end of the video. Just going to try it out now. So let's say I want multiple of 9. Oh, that's giving me an error. Let's see. So I went ahead and console log why we had an error, and I see we made a spelling error in in results, spelling our results. So I'll just look for that and replace it. Okay, here is the error, so we change that to results, and then let's try it again. And we have our calculator, and the on value, okay, we just want to pass in clear. We change data value to data action to be clear. So when this is 9, and that is going to play it. And for delete, and let's see if it works. Okay, that is exactly what it's gonna do. Now that is basically, we can try our calculator out, and if you want to add this little feature that I've added, I basically downloaded the font, and I decided to add my fonts to it to make it a little bit fun and looking scientific. So I downloaded a font, so font face. You just want to add the name of your font. In my case, I'll use my font, then the link to my font. So I'll grab the font and I'll be back. So I've gotten my font, so I'll go back into my CSS, and I'll just link it to this font. And I want to set the body font family to be a new font. My font, and we have a scientific font. So that is it for the video. If you like me to add more features to it, or you like to see more tutorials like this, I'll be glad to create one. Thank you. Hit the subscribe button and share, it helps. Thank you.